So today we're going to move on from talking about prisms to talking about the right circular cylinder. Now we're going to go over volume, lateral area, and total area of a right circular cylinder today. So, volume of a right circular cylinder is equal to pi r squared times height, which makes sense because if you think about it, the area of a circle is equal to 2 pi r squared, or excuse me, it's just equal to pi r squared, and then if we multiply it by the height, it'll give us volume. So the volume of this cylinder is equal to pi radius squared times 12. So this is equal to This is equal to 49 pi times 12, and those are kind of big, so I'm going to put those in the calculator. 49 times 12, so 588 pi. And I'm just going to leave the pi like that so that we give a more exact answer. Okay, so now we're going to talk about lateral area. So when we find lateral area of a cylinder, we're finding the area of this part that wraps around the cylinder, the soup can that wraps around, or the soup label that wraps around a soup can. So that area corresponds to this rectangle right here. And if you look, this height of this rectangle is going to equal to the height of this cylinder. So that's why it's 8 right here. And the width of this rectangle is going to equal the circumference of the circle, because if we unwrapped it, we'd have a width of 2 pi r. So that's why when we find lateral area, it's equal to 2 pi r times height. So the lateral area for this is equal to 2 pi times our radius, which is 4, times our height, which is 8. So 2 times 4 is 8, times 8 is 64. So this is 64 pi centimeters squared, because area is always centimeters squared. Alright, now we have one last thing we're going to learn. It's total area. And when we find the total area of a cylinder, we are finding the surface area of this entire can. We're finding all of this. That's why when we find our total area, we take our lateral area, which is 2 pi RH plus 2 pi r squared. This part gives us the area of both of these bases, or I'm sorry, this part gives the area of the bases. This part gives us the lateral area. And when we add them together, we get total area. So we have 2 pi times r, which is 5/2 times 13, plus 2 pi r squared. So 2 times 5/2 just leaves us with 5, because the 2's cancel. So we have 5 times 13 times pi plus 2 pi. If we square this fraction, remember we square the top and the bottom, so we get 25 over 4. So 5 times 13 is 65 pi, plus, if we cancel these, we get plus 25/2 pi. And I'm going to get a common denominator. So if I get a common denominator, this is going to be 130 pi over 2, and this is 25 pi over 2. So then we get 155 pi halves inches squared, because area is always squared units. So that's all we're going to do with the right cylinder today. But make sure you come back and watch the next video where we're going to go into some formulas for pyramids.